Okay, hey there, everybody. I wanted to make a super quick video just to show you how you can review my feedback on some assignments, just because that's not always clear, I don't think. So I wanted to show you how you can find that and how you should find it, so that way it just helps you to improve your writing or understand your grade a little bit more throughout the term. Okay, but before I do that, first I have to highlight we got on my cool Real Men Read shirt, which is a fun program that the United Way does, and they just have men go into kindergarten classrooms, first grade classrooms, elementary school classrooms, and read stories to kids. So I did that before COVID kind of shut everything down. But when I wear this shirt, I think I need to get back into that program. But anyway, let's look at how you view feedback. Okay, so let's get in here. All right. So for you, right, this is the student view. This is what you should see. You know, you've got your little to-do list, things like that over here on the side. And, you know, remember, pay attention to those due dates and try not to get overwhelmed. Remember, I just reinforcing one step at a time, one step at a time, and checking into the class multiple days a week to do those steps at a time. But now, after you start submitting some work and getting some grades, you know, when you click on your grades, you go over here and you can you know, start to see what's been submitted. And sometimes like that was not shown for some reason. I clicked on it, it worked. And then you have links to the assignments here to click on, and then you can see comment areas here if there are comments in this space, or if it's a quiz, you'll see an attempt, and then you will start to see the answers and then feedback. Now, some of this feedback is kind of, you know, auto-generated feedback. It's, you know, it's feedback that has been built into the quiz itself in the past. So, you know, if you're getting it right or wrong, it's kind of telling you exactly what it is right there. But then other pieces, like for example, these paraphrase pieces, right, we'll have some also auto-generated feedback. It's not auto-generated, it was just added there before the class during the class setup process, but it just happens automatically. I don't have to write it again. And then you might have some additional feedback. It says here from grader. Okay. And so this is where if needed, you know, if you're unsure, hey, why did I lose a couple points here or there, then you're going to see something like this. Now, I wanted to highlight that in this little plagiarism and source documentation mini quiz and exercise, you know, you have this paraphrase work where it's giving you an original passage, giving you some sample paraphrase pieces, and then asking you to decide which one is better. I want to note that neither of them are perfect, okay? That you're just trying to think which one does a better job of paraphrasing. And I think it's important to spend a little bit of lecture time noting that difference between paraphrase, summary, and direct quotation. So paraphrase means we are taking some selected passage, maybe it's a paragraph, maybe it's 5 sentences, maybe it's 2 paragraphs, maybe it's 3 sentences, whatever it is. We're taking that and we're saying, okay, I don't want to directly quote this, and I also don't want to summarize it. I need to put it into my own words and do that and make the writing my own while still giving credit to the writer. So the way you do that is you change words and you change structure where possible, and you give credit to the author themselves. I'll let my dog back in because, of course, she could pick any other time, but it said, hey, I'll make a quick video, and she wants to come in now. Maybe she'll start barking soon. But so when it comes to paraphrase, you're looking at, hey, what has been changed around and made the writer's own, right? Where it's in their voice. Now it's in the writer's voice, not the original author's voice. It's clearly in the writer's voice. But the idea is the same, and they've given credit to that author. And so in this first one, for example, I know several students picked paraphrase two, but the issue there is that there's some direct word for word, you know, large sections of the original text that are included in there that should have been directly quoted and aren't. So in effect, they've effectively plagiarized unintentionally. Um, So that's something we don't want to do in a paraphrase. We don't want to incorporate direct quotes, or if we do, on the kind of the rare occasion where it seems necessary that we have to, we of course need to use quotation marks and then cite immediately after we've used a direct quote. Summary, right, attempts to take what is some original amount of text and squeeze it into a much smaller area, whereas paraphrase keeps more or less the same amount of writing. It's just changing the words and order and structure of that writing to put it into the writer's own voice. You'll be doing a lot of summary, paraphrase, and direct quotation in our course, so that's why we have some paraphrase work here for us to think about. But I wanted to highlight that if you're seeing you've lost some points here or there, understand that these paraphrases aren't perfect. You're just trying to pick which one is better than the other. And usually the issue for the one that's poorest is they've used some direct language without providing quotations for that. And that's a big no-no. But some of these paraphrase entries lack a citation completely, where we don't receive the author's name at all, and that's a big problem. So remember in your own writing, in your own paraphrase work, that you want to change words, change structure, and give credit to the original author or authors. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. Make sure you're always checking for additional feedback on materials, especially if you have additional questions, because writing is a skill. We get better through reading, through writing, through receiving feedback, and through trying to interpret and apply that feedback for our next assignment. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. And if not, I'll stop sharing and wish you a good end of this week and good weekend.